Your doctor has almost certainly never sat you down and told you which snacks are actually good for your kidneys. And the reason says everything about the medical system you're navigating. A kidney appointment lasts about 12 minutes. There's a billing code for a prescription, a billing code for a scan, but there is no billing code for the 10 quiet minutes it would take to explain what you should reach for at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when your energy dips and your hand drifts toward the cracker box. So the food conversation is the first thing cut, every single visit. I'm Dr. William Lee, and in more than 2 decades studying how food interacts with the body at the level of blood vessels, cells, and organs, I've watched hundreds of people over 60 stare at their creatinine number feeling like there's nothing they can do about it. There is something you can do. Today I'm giving you 5 ordinary snacks, the kind you'll find in any grocery store you already shop at, and showing you exactly why each one works at the level of the tiny filters inside your kidneys, how to prepare each one properly, and the mistakes I watch good, careful people make every week without realizing it. Let me be completely straight with you. I am not going to tell you these 5 snacks will cure or reverse your kidney disease. That would be a lie. What I am telling you is quieter and more honest. The food you eat, chosen carefully and prepared correctly, genuinely changes how hard your kidneys work every day. And a kidney working just a little less hard holds its ground for far longer. This is physiology, backed by kidney specialists at the National Institutes of Health, along with guidance from the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic. If your last lab test showed creatinine past 1.2, 1.5, or higher. If a doctor has said stage 3, maybe stage 4. If you're getting up 2, 3, 4 times a night to urinate and you've started to dread it, you're exactly who I made this video for. First, in about 90 seconds, what creatinine actually is and why it climbs. Then we'll walk through the 5 snacks one by one, how to prepare each so it works for you instead of against you. The 90-second explanation. Creatinine is a waste product. Every time your muscles work, they burn creatine for energy, and creatinine is the leftover waste. It circulates in your blood until your kidneys filter it out into your urine. In a healthy body, it's produced and cleared all day, keeping the level low and steady. Your kidneys do this filtering through about 1 million microscopic filters each, called nephrons. When those nephrons are damaged by years of high blood sugar, high blood pressure, or chronic kidney disease, filtering slows down. Creatinine keeps being produced but isn't cleared as fast, so it builds up in the blood. That's when your lab reports start showing 1.5, 1.8, 2.0, and climbing. Here's the part that changes everything. That number doesn't only reflect how damaged your filters already are. It also responds to 2 things within your influence every day. How much waste you're asking your kidneys to clear, and how much ongoing damage those filters take from inflammation and blood vessel health. Each of these 5 snacks works on one of those 2 levers. Less waste to filter, less damage to the filters. That's the entire game. Snack 1, red grapes. I recommend these to nearly every kidney patient, and almost none of them eat them, usually because of the sugar worry. But stay with me. Grapes contain resveratrol, the compound linked to red wine, except the resveratrol in whole grapes is far more useful to your body than anything from alcohol, and alcohol is the last thing a struggling kidney needs. Resveratrol calms oxidative stress, the cellular wear and tear that slowly scars the nephrons. The skin adds quercetin and anthocyanins, the same pigments that give grapes their deep red color, which early research links to reduced protein leakage into the urine. That's the foamy urine some of you have noticed. Red grapes are also naturally low in potassium, about 88 milligrams in a half cup, versus over 400 in a single banana. For stage 3 or 4 kidney disease, that difference is enormous, since damaged kidneys struggle to clear excess potassium, which can interfere with heart rhythm. How to eat them? Fresh, whole, washed, refrigerated. About half a cup, 15 to 20 grapes, mid-morning or mid-afternoon. Pair with a few unsalted walnuts or a small piece of low-sodium cheese. The protein slows sugar absorption. Avoid grape juice. It concentrates sugar and removes fiber. Avoid raisins. Drying concentrates potassium to around 750 milligrams per quarter cup. And choose red grapes over green. The color carries the benefit. Snack 2. Cooked egg whites. If a doctor ever told you to cut protein because of your kidneys, listen carefully. Getting this wrong hurts you two ways. Too much of the wrong protein overworks the kidneys. Too little protein costs you the muscle that keeps you standing and steady on your feet. Egg whites strike the balance. Protein breakdown produces urea, which shows up on your labs as BUN. A struggling kidney has to work harder to clear it. Older advice simply slashed protein, but that fed into sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss everyone over 60 is already fighting. And here's the twist. Losing muscle can make creatinine look worse too, since creatinine is produced by muscle in the first place. Egg whites have the highest biological value of any dietary protein. Your body uses almost all of it, leaving very little waste behind. They're also nearly phosphorus-free, since almost all of an egg's phosphorus sits in the yolk. Less waste, less phosphorus, real muscle-preserving protein. Preparation. Scramble 2 to 3 egg whites in a little olive oil, no salt, fresh herbs like parsley or chives, or hard-boil whole eggs and discard the yolks. If using carton liquid egg whites, check the label. Some brands are high in sodium. Aim under 100 milligrams per serving. Aim for 10 to 15 grams of protein per sitting, roughly 3 to 4 egg whites. One egg white isn't a snack. If you have advanced kidney disease heading towards stage 5, your protein needs are individualized, so work with your kidney specialist. Snack 3. Potatoes. The food nearly every kidney handout tells you to cross off. I'm telling you to put it back. Through one preparation method, almost no patient ever learns: leaching. Potatoes are high in potassium, but potassium is water-soluble. You can physically remove much of it before eating. Peel the potatoes, slice them thin, about 1/8 of an inch. Soak in warm water at least 4 hours, changing the water halfway through. Drain, rinse, and cook in fresh, unsalted water. Done right, this removes about 30 to 50% of the potassium. It's not a free pass. A leached potato still has potassium, and portions still matter. But it turns a high potassium food into a moderate one many with stage 3 disease can enjoy with their doctor's approval. And quality of life matters. A warm, filling potato keeps people on their diet in a way a rice cake never will. People who feel deprived abandon the diet, and abandoning it does more harm than a carefully prepared potato ever could. Preparation. 2 small potatoes, leached as described, boiled in fresh water, lightly mashed with olive oil, rosemary, and lemon juice. Limit to about half a cup. Don't microwave instead. It cooks the potato, but removes none of the potassium. The slicing, soaking, and boiling are what matter. And don't swap in a sweet potato thinking it's healthier. A medium one has over 500 milligrams of potassium unless leached the same way. A kidney diet and a general healthy diet are not the same thing. Snack 4. Cauliflower. I recommend this to nearly every kidney patient regardless of stage. It's naturally low in potassium, about 150 milligrams per half cup, low in phosphorus and sodium, and a good source of vitamin C and folate, which kidney patients on restricted diets often run low on. The deeper story: cauliflower is cruciferous, like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and contains indole 3-carbinol, which your body converts into a compound called DIM. Research suggests DIM helps calm inflammation through the NF-kappa B pathway, and low persistent inflammation is a major reason creatinine keeps climbing, even in people who feel fine. The evidence here is still early. I'm not claiming cauliflower alone lowers creatinine, only that reducing inflammation is a core strategy in slowing kidney disease, and cauliflower safely supports that. It's also rich in choline, which supports the tubular cells that concentrate urine. When those cells struggle, urine becomes dilute and frequent, meaning more nighttime bathroom trips. That link is still being researched, but the mechanism makes sense, and there's little downside to trying. My favorite preparation: pulse raw florets in a food processor until rice-sized, microwave 2 to 3 minutes with no added water. Finish with herbs, lemon juice, and olive oil. Or roast florets at 400 degrees Fahrenheit with olive oil and a little garlic powder until golden. Avoid frozen cauliflower already covered in cheese sauce. Check the label for sodium and phosphate additives. Buy it plain and season it yourself. Snack 5. Macadamia nuts. If you've been told to avoid all nuts, here's why that blanket advice is outdated. Most nuts genuinely are a problem. 1 ounce of almonds has about 200 milligrams of potassium and 136 of phosphorus, a real burden for stage 3 or 4 disease. Macadamias are different. 1 ounce, about 10 to 12 nuts, has only around 104 milligrams of potassium and 53 of phosphorus, dramatically lower than most nuts. They're also rich in monounsaturated fat, particularly oleic acid, the same fat that makes olive oil beneficial, good for the heart and, by extension, the kidneys, since kidney disease and heart disease travel together and people with CKD are more likely to die of a cardiovascular event than kidney failure itself. Monounsaturated fat lowers LDL cholesterol and supports healthier blood vessels feeding the kidneys. Early research also links these fats to reduced protein leakage. They barely affect blood sugar too, making them a genuinely satisfying crunchy snack. Stick to 1 ounce, 10 to 12 nuts, raw and unsalted if possible, or dry roasted with nothing added. Skip flavored, candied, or chocolate-coated versions. A nice combination. 10 to 12 macadamias with 4 or 5 red grapes in the afternoon, potassium allowance permitting. One warning that has nothing to do with kidneys. Macadamia nuts are toxic to dogs, so keep them away from pets. Harold's story. Harold came to see me at 69, his creatinine having climbed over 2 years into stage 3 chronic kidney disease, with blood pressure and blood sugar elevated through his 60s. He felt fine, which made the numbers feel unfair. Every appointment brought another prescription, never a conversation about his kitchen. He was up 3 times a night and had quietly stopped traveling because of it. We kept every medication his specialist prescribed, nutrition never replaces treatment, and got intentional about snacking using these same 5 foods. Grapes and macadamias replaced his afternoon crackers. He learned to leach potatoes. His wife started making cauliflower rice. Over the following months, alongside his medication and regular labs, his numbers stabilized. His creatinine didn't return to normal. It stopped climbing. His blood pressure improved, and his nighttime trips dropped from 3 to 1. But what he valued most was becoming an active participant in protecting his kidneys instead of watching them fail helplessly. I've also seen the other ending too many times. Someone hears all this, intends to change, and never quite gets to it, then returns a year later with worse numbers and fewer options. The difference is rarely willpower or money. It's usually just this. One person made one small change this week while it was fresh. The other waited for a someday that never came. The one idea underneath all 5. Every one of these foods reduces the workload on your kidneys' filters. The egg whites cut down the waste your kidneys must clear. The grapes and cauliflower calm the inflammation that scars the filters over time. The macadamia nuts protect the blood vessels feeding the kidneys. And every method, leaching, cooking without salt, choosing whole fruit over juice, keeps potassium, phosphorus, and sodium from building up in a system that can no longer clear them efficiently. Your creatinine isn't just a verdict on damage already done. It's also an ongoing reflection of how hard you're asking your kidneys to work, and that part has your fingerprints on it 3 times a day. You didn't develop kidney disease from carelessness. It's usually decades of blood pressure, blood sugar, and aging blood vessels. But the workload your kidneys carry starting today is something you can help reduce. No prescription, no copay, no one's permission required. What to do tonight? Write a grocery list now. Fresh red grapes, eggs or liquid egg whites, a couple of potatoes, a head of cauliflower, a small bag of raw, unsalted macadamia nuts. Pick just one snack to start with, not all 5. The person who tries to change everything by Monday usually changes nothing by Friday. The easiest place to start is swapping your afternoon snack for half a cup of grapes and a few macadamias. Learn to leach a potato this week. It gives you back a food you may have thought was gone for good. Cut salt from every one of these preparations. Season with herbs, lemon, and olive oil instead, and read labels for sodium and phosphate. And keep every appointment with your kidney specialist. Keep your labs current, know your own numbers, creatinine, GFR, potassium, phosphorus. These snacks work alongside your medical treatment, never instead of it. One message I include in every video: there comes a point where this stops being a kitchen decision and becomes a phone call to your doctor. If you have stage 4 or 5 kidney disease, or have ever been told your potassium runs high, don't overhaul your diet based on a video alone, including this one. In advanced kidney disease, potassium and protein must be adjusted to your exact kidney function, and too much potassium can be dangerous for your heart. Bring this video to your kidney specialist or a registered renal dietitian and build your own version of this plan together. A creatinine number that keeps rising isn't a sentence you simply accept. You now have 5 practical, affordable foods you can find in almost any grocery store, and you know exactly how to prepare each one. Your kidneys have worked for you every second of every day since before you were born. Tonight, you finally have the chance to start working for them. Choose one of these snacks and actually buy it this week, not someday. Take good care of yourself and take good care of your kidneys.